Sawadee-kap. All right, we're going to go on to step number 2 of questions and actions. Yesterday was go on an immediate 1-week media fast. And I suggested with the state of the media today, make it longer than 1 week, but try it for a week and see how it impacts you. Number 2, develop the habit of asking yourself, will I definitely use this information for something immediate and important? So every time you go to seek information or turn on your phone, just say, is this information I'm going to get? This is something I'm going to be able to use immediately, and is it important, and is it something I'm going to use right now? It's not enough to use information for something. It needs to be immediate and important. If no on either count, don't consume it. Information is useless if it's not applied to something important, or if you will forget it before you have a chance to apply it. I used to have the habit of reading a book or a website to prepare for an event weeks or months in the future. I would then need to reread the same material when the deadline for action was closer. This is stupid and redundant. So he admits he did the same thing that most of us do. Follow your to-do short list and fill in the information gaps as you go. So there's a concept in business called JIT, just in time. Have materials delivered to the job just in time, not sitting around where they can get stolen, for instance, months, or weeks in advance. Focus on what digitory, D-I-G-E-R-A-T-I, digitory cathecera, I don't know what a digitory is. Diggerati. I have no idea what that word is. A new word for me. I'm excited. I'll look it up after this. Kathy Sierra calls, nope, just in time. There you go. Like I said, in JIT, in business, that's a thing. Just in time delivery. Information instead of just in case information, right? So there you go. Same thing as on the job, delivering materials, tile, whatever, paint to a job. Number 3, practice the art of non-finishing. This is another one that took me a long time to learn. Starting something doesn't automatically justify finishing it. There you go. That's a different slant on things, different take. If you're reading an article that sucks, put it down and don't pick it back up. If you go to a movie and it's worse than Matrix 3, that'd be pretty hard. That was a terrible movie. Get the hell out of there before more neurons die. If you're full after a half a plate of ribs, put the damn fork down and don't order dessert. More is not better. Stopping something is often 10 times better than finishing it. Develop the habit of non-finishing that which is boring or unproductive if a boss isn't demanding it. I am super guilty of that. I will start watching a movie, and even if it's terrible, I'll just watch the whole movie to the end. I don't know why. I've wasted hours and hours and hours of my life finishing bad movies. So that's something I can take away from this, get better at, because, a big part of my life was spent watching bad movies. A big part, because I love to watch movies to relax. So even if the movie sucked, I'd hang in there and just sit there and watch it because I didn't want to do anything else. Okay, here's another comfort challenge. So we had the blinking, right? Stare at people uncomfortably. Chapter forward, uncommon habit of making a decision. Let me see what the other, I forget, talk about being able to forget. Yeah, learn the eye gaze. That was one comfort challenge. And let me see, I do not remember what the second one was, and that was, 3-4 days ago? So what he just said about you forgetting shit, oh, fuck, guilty, worse than ever. One question, Q&A. All right, so we're at the end of the last chapter. Do not multitask. Learn to propose. Okay, I should have remembered that. That wasn't that long ago where you started offering solutions as opposed to asking others what to do. So here's the third comfort challenge designed to get you out of your comfort zone, which is where you grow, bottom line. Get phone numbers over the next 2 days. Be sure to maintain eye contact, which is comfort challenge 1. Ask for phone numbers of at least 2. The more you attempt, the less stressful it will be. Attractive members of the opposite sex on each day. Okay, so for you married people who are in a committed relationship, that would be an interesting exercise. But honey, I'm doing it because of the book. Yeah, I'm sure that would fly. Interesting, very interesting. I mean, this could get you killed. Getting that looks more get you out of your comfort zone. Attractive members opposites. Girls, this means you're in the game as well. And it doesn't matter if you're 50 plus. Remember that the real goal is not to get the numbers, but to get over the fear of asking. So the outcome is unimportant. If you're in a relationship, sign up to or pretend to gather information for Greenpeace. Just toss the numbers if you get them. All right, so he's saying don't get a number for a date if you're in a relationship. Sign up for stuff and get phone numbers to just get contact numbers. Go to a mall if you want to get some rapid fire practice. My preference for getting over the discomfort quickly is to do it fast and a lot, fast and furious basically. And aim to ask 3 people in a row within 5 minutes. Feel free to use some variation of the following script. Excuse me, I know this is going to sound strange, but if I don't ask you now, I'll be kicking myself for the rest of the day. I'm running to meet a friend, i.e. I have friends and I'm not a stalker, but I think you're really extremely drop-dead, cute, gorgeous, hot. Could I have your number? I'm not a psycho, I promise. You can give me a fake one if you're not interested. All right, remember way back when I said Timmy is a little awkward with the ladies, with a member of the opposite sex? I'm not fucking Don Juan by any means, but that script was the most awkward, stalkerish. You know, what's one of the first things you learn? People who keep saying, I'm not this, usually are, right? If you got a lady or a man who you're getting into a relationship with or in a relationship with, and they keep telling you every 5 minutes, I'm not cheating, I'm not cheating, I'm not cheating, I would bet good money they're cheating. Because that's sort of like this human, you know, it has to do with the brain and all that stuff, psychoanalysis, where they need to keep, it's almost like they're trying to convince themselves. They keep telling you, but they're also telling themselves and reinforcing maybe what they want to be true, but not what's necessarily true. The guy whose house I went over the other day, Sunday, and had the pool day with, he's a serial dater, and that's cool. I mean, it's Thailand. Like I said many times, there's something for everybody here. But do you think he tells those women, oh yeah, just come over my house, I'll bang you all weekend and I'll never see you again? Fuck no. He's like, he plays the game. And the game is lying to them and telling them what they want to hear, which is that he's looking for a serious relationship, even though he's not. So, if you watch videos, go your homework today, class. Where's my ruler? Smack your fucking hand with a ruler like the nuns did, right? Your homework, should you decide to accept it, if you want to understand my point I'm going to make here, is to go onto YouTube after you watch this video and just search Tim Ferriss. Number one, there's lots of great information. He's a great teacher. He talks about stuff outside this book, and you can learn a ton from him. So I watch his videos. I recommend you do too. But as you watch his video today, and it doesn't matter what it's about, think about that paragraph he just said. How he had to say, I'm on the way to meet a friend, so that the lady wouldn't assume he's a stalker. And then looking at him in the video go, that dude looks like a stalker, right? Like, he's very intense. Like I said, he's everything he does 1,000%, which is cool for us because he wrote all these great books, right? So I appreciate that he's 1,000%. That's where all this output comes from. But if you're a woman, look at him and his sharp features, bald head. It is what it is. Some guys are bald, some guys aren't. And just intensity. he has this hawk-like intensity, and I think it's too much for a lot of ladies. They prefer a guy more normal or laid back, which I would say I'm laid back. And then there's guys who have more intensity than me, but not to the point where it frightens women. I think Tim frightens women. I do. I really do. And once again, watch the YouTube video, any YouTube video with him in it, and see if you agree with me that he's super intense and that could make members of the opposite sex uncomfortable. Because he mentions the friends, so he doesn't seem like a stalker. And then he actually says to the woman trying to get her number, I'm not a stalker or a psycho. Why do you have to say that? Like, what makes you, what's happened in your past experience that I've never said those words to a woman because I've never had to. They don't think I'm a psycho or a stalker. They think I'm a fat, old, lazy son of a bitch, and they're right. But never have I ever had to say to a woman, I'm not a psycho, I'm not a stalker, because I don't give off that vibe, right? So, and I don't think Tim is a psycho or a stalker at all. He's a nice guy, a bright guy. I just think he's very intense, and I think he frightens women. That's my initial gut instinct based on what he's writing and what I've seen on videos. So, unless you're psycho and unless you're a stalker, I wouldn't use that script. I'd be kicking myself all day. No, I mean, I would say something more like, hey, how are you? I'm Greg. Marsha, there you go. For the Brady Bunch fans, Marsha. I'm Marsha. Hey, you're very cute. Like you said, cute, hot, whatever word you want to use. I say you're very cute. You caught my eye. I'd like to get to know you better. That's it. Quick, simple. You're not sitting there uncomfortable for 2 minutes or 3 minutes waiting, for that's awkward, this fucking speech you're going to make. You stop them from where they're going. You're supposedly going somewhere. So I would just keep it much shorter and just simply say, I want to get to know you better, because that is something that they might want or they might not want, just like with him. You are uncomfortable asking because it's a stranger. That's the point of the exercise, is you're going up to a stranger and saying, I'd like to get to know you better. And, and sort of maybe like a little bit of a cheat. Because remember, the whole point is to get out of your comfort zone. So you're in a committed relationship. I'm dating somebody right now, right? So if I were to walk up to a Thai lady and ask for her phone number, my girlfriend would be very upset with me. What about networking? What about going and getting phone numbers? To me, this kind of combines the best of both worlds. Go up to people that you want in your network that could help you with your goals and ask them for phone numbers. Now you're getting phone numbers. And it can be members of the opposite sex because it's for business. It doesn't really matter. And that way you're not throwing the number out like Tim suggests. You're actually going to use the number, but you're going to use it for business, right? So network, and if you're in real estate, there's plenty of very attractive real estate agents out there. Go out and get a bunch of numbers. And guess what? You're actually going to get their number because it's business, and you have a reason to have their number. You're like, I'm an investor, I'm a landlord, I'm a flipper, I'm a wholesaler. Can I have your number? Right? I mean, that's so that, I think that makes it a little bit more comfortable, which I understand the whole point of the exercise is to get outside your comfort zone, but you're still talking to a stranger. There's still that initial, for most people, nervousness of going up to a stranger and asking for a phone number. So maybe do it in a networking context if you're in a committed relationship, and that will make things on the home front a little cooler. Because you go asking members of the opposite sex for phone numbers and you're married, your spouse is going to get fucking pissed off, period. So I don't want to end marriages with the advice we're given here. And like I said, Tim, as far as I know, is alone. And if you watch the videos, you'll kind of get the vibe that I get from him, which, once again, great guy. But if I was a woman, I don't think I would date him. And he's wealthy and he's smart. Like, why wouldn't you date him? Well, you watch the video, and if you're, especially if you're a woman, you tell me if you would date Tim Ferriss. And smart guy, got money, but he's just a little, there's something going on there, right? So that's it for today. Like I said, I would throw out the script. That was the worst pickup line I've ever heard or read in my life. I don't think you would get a lot of numbers with it. I think you'd scare a lot of women with it. And also, so much of it has to do with vibe, the reading of the other person on you, who they think you are and what they think you want and all that. So maybe you could actually use that script and make it non-threatening because of your demeanor and the vibes you're throwing off. It's just a terrible fucking script. Just say, I want to get to know you better. How simple is that? It makes sense to them, and once again, they'll give you a fake number. You don't have to say that. They're smart enough to know they've been in that situation before. If it's an attractive person, lots of people have asked for their number. So they're used to giving out a phony number. They probably have a phony number in their head. 555, 1212, whatever. So, yeah, once again, that script. You can give me a fake number if you don't want to. It's so fucking weak. And it's assuming defeat, and there's so many things wrong with that script. It just goes to show you a guy who's so brilliant on so many things is totally out in left field when it comes to members of the opposite sex. He just doesn't get it when it comes to that stuff, and he's so advanced in so many other fields, nutrition and the body and the chemistry and the way it works and business. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's one of the great minds of our time, and he can't even put together a sentence to ask for a woman's phone number. It's interesting. So that's it for today. Y'all be good. I bought a small car yesterday, not at auction, just off of Facebook Marketplace. And I took it immediately to the dealer to get, or garage, just to get an oil change and have them check everything. But anytime you get a used car, like you put a new battery in, change the oil, that way you know they're good, right? Change the air filter if it needs it, that way you know it's good. The crucial thing for me with any used vehicle is when I hop in it and I turn the key, I want it to go. And I'm really going to focus on selling the truck. I dropped the price another $1,000 last night. That's down to $450. If I sell it for $450, I've still made $5,000, right? 150,000 baht. I'm okay with that. $5,000 is good. It's time for the truck to go, and part of that is it's just too big. That Ranger is much smaller than my extended cab. Extended bed F-150 I drove in America, but the roads in America are much wider. The parking spaces are wider. They're longer, because the truck is too wide for these streets, and narrow little streets in Thailand, the Ranger, and it's too long for parking spaces. Its ass always sticks out. And when I go and I pull into a space, it's always, the tail is like crooked because it hasn't had enough space to whip around and get straight. So you got to do that. When I went to see my buddy Sean over his house and go swimming, to get out of his gate, I had to do one of these, like literally 5 times, to get out, because the road is so small. I didn't have room to back the truck all the way out and go. I had to do one of the, fucking KK. I'm not going to say KKK turn, but multiple 5Ks. I did a 5K K-turn. Because the truck is so fucking big. So I just got a small car. It's a Beamer, 318 black. I'll do a video on it or take pictures of it after I take it to the detailer. I'm picking it up from the shop today with the oil change, and where they did basically a mechanic inspection, just check, make sure everything's cool with the car. From there, I'm driving it to a detailer to get cleaned up. A Thai man owned it, so deferred maintenance. It's pretty dirty, I went to put gas in it. He jumped out to do it. I said full, M, which is full. He put a quarter of a tank in because he was paying. Like, dude, it's a fucking tank of gas. But the Thai mentality is different. they think differently than we do. So after I detail it, I'll go fill it up and get gas again. 2 days and two fill ups and 2 visits to the gas station in 2 days because he was too cheap to put a full tank of gas in there. Whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, I'll do a video on the new car. Once again, I just bought it because it's small. You know, it's narrow and it's short. So 3 Series Beaver, tiny little compact car like a Toyota or a Honda. That's really what you need here for grocery getting and running around town.